Hello, everybody. We're the Mad Scientists, back again, Mad Frankie and Violet Igor, and together we make the Mad Scientists. Bing! You're a bit fuzzy.
I'm a bit fuzzy. Well,
You're a little bit fuzzy.
at your end, because I look just fine to me.
Oh. Oh, well. Let's pick my end then. So we are back again. We are doing textures. Here she goes. There you are. Vanishing act. You got it down pat, haven't you?
Yeah.
So this is the other one, the second one, the one that I did with this acrylic texture paste, modeling paste, high density, Plebeo. Yes. Okay. So, and I've gone over it with a heat gun. Still feels a little chilled in places, but there we go. We'll have to go.
Is this on a block again?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is also on a block. It's the same Langton, 140 pound, 300 GSM, cold press not fine. I mean, cold press not grain fine.
Yeah, you have less texture than the other one.
Well, I thought I had more texture.
Oh, because there's a spot right in the middle bottom.
Yeah, it isn't that much, but it's still got the paste on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And over here, when I was drawing, some of it started to bubble up. And I was very pleased to see that. I like that. Bubbly bits. Ooh, lovely. And here we've got a sort of round shape, and other shapes. Whether they will end up meaning anything in particular, I don't know. But this time I've got out the Kuretake.
Okay.
So I'll start with some colours. Let me move this out of the way because we don't want that doing anything it shouldn't. So I've got the big pans of Kuretake because they're easy to use. And I've still got my water. I've refreshed it. And we have water. Plus I have tissues. And I've got one out already. All ready to go. I do seem to get them very, very, very wet. The tissues. So let's think what we're going to put in here. Now, we could go boring and that could be the sun and these could be trees. But I'm not so convinced that they're actually going to turn out like that. I think if you're going to do this, you would be better off doing it on something like, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Something like this, which is canvas. You see?
And that's what I was going to ask you. There are canvas boards.
Yeah. Or canvas board would do, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was going to ask you, why did you choose the watercolor block rather than the canvas?
Because I was thinking watercolor.
Oh.
And also, because I haven't quite finished preparing these canvases yet, I have now put some primer on them so that I can now pretty much not see the previous thing there. I can see a slight trace here and there. You can see a little bit of it there. Yeah, but it's so much fainter than it was. And all I've done is put the primer on, 2 coats of primer, and then I put, what did I put on there? I think I then put acrylic gesso on, going for the acrylic, the same one as I was using on the previous one of these.
Yeah.
So after that, I've now got to put on watercolor ground because I want it to be more responsive to watercolor.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask. Are you going to use that one in your hand right now? Are you going to put, are you going to do to it what you've done to the one on the table? Or do you have another project?
Well, no, I don't. No, I wasn't planning on that, but I was getting this ready for use with watercolor. That's all.
Okay.
What I'm going to put on it, I don't know. I've got another one over there that I'm doing the same to. So I've got 2 about this sort of size. It's about, let me see. It's more than 4 times the size of this. More than 4 times the size.
So for the primer, did you use a brush on or a spray on?
Spray on.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't find a brush on one, so I picked what I could find.
Yeah, and I'm sure you did it outside.
And I did, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can see a patch on the drive at the back. What these white lines for?
Well, they're usually water-based primers, so a good rain and or a hose down or a bucket of water and it'll.
Well, it doesn't really matter because it's our property, so I don't give a doodahs.
Well, there you go then.
So we don't have to worry about that.
You're
embellishing. Right, so this is still quite damp in places. Oh, I can see some more there. Basically, I think this would be better to be left for the next day. I mean, I only did this sort of lunchtime-ish, and it's now 7:30 at night, so it's not had long. No, I didn't do it at lunchtime. You've watched me do it. I did it about an hour ago. That's right. The other one I did lunchtime.
Yeah,
that
the other one you did yesterday.
Yeah. This one I just did just now. Yeah.
It hasn't been sitting that long. That's why I was surprised you wanted to do this.
So this is purple. Doesn't look very purple. It looks more sort of maroony to me, but there you go.
So what's this color you're using? Kuretake, what color though?
This is carmine. That was purple. This is carmine.
Okay. Looks like a giant mum.
Dunno.
Or carnation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got some. That's the trouble with doing it before it's set. I've got some plaster in my brush, so I've got to rinse that out thoroughly. So, which is Imperial? Is it that one? It is. Imperial. Imperial. Lovely bit of Imperial. Splotchy. Maybe it's a giant poppy. Maybe that's what it is. See, that always looks brown to me. Looks like brown. But that's not what it's called. There's maroon. I kept to keep checking the number to make sure I didn't put it back in the wrong place. How can something that looks so brown in mass tone turn out such a nice colour on the paper or whatever?
Well, from here, and it's probably more red than I'm thinking, but from here it's got a burnt sienna,
That kind of vibe, yeah.
yeah, raw umber, burnt sienna, something along those lines, you know?
But it has got some sort of purpliness in it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I saw red. You say purple, where you've got both colors
Well,
down there.
it's sort of a pinky purple. You can see it more here, sort of pinky sort of look to it.
And you're live. I'm looking through the camera and I'm seeing red and purple already down there
Yeah.
reflecting. So pick one. Nice combo.
Take some blue grey deep. Accentuate it a bit. There you go. That's about the darkest colour I could find without being completely black, and I think I prefer that. I was picked up the black, but I wasn't sure about it. Yeah, didn't fancy it so much. Maybe that's why this is smooth. Maybe it was meant to be a stalk.
There you go.
Not sure, but seems to be the way it's going. So let's open this one. So I've got a clean available. So I've now got a dirty and a clean. Pretty soon I'll have two dirties. So, what was that one? Burnt sienna. That's what I want. Burnt sienna. Oh, all those little dots are showing up beautifully there. Nice. Going to be able to go over these once it's completely dry and bring up these textures again. But I'm going to obliterate them for the moment, but they're still there as textures. So I'll be able to come back and revisit those.
And you're not pulling up any more plaster from your on. Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah. Just got to remember to keep the brush clean. Yes, I can advise that it is better to let this plaster dry before putting your brushes on it. Otherwise, your favourite brush is going to become a bit less usable, which is probably what's going to happen to mine. I must try and remember to go and sort it out. Right, trying to wash it again. I usually, when I've finished painting, I usually take my brushes and I go and wash them under the running tap with soap and really rub them properly on my hand to get them properly soaped up and clean as I can. And I do that a couple of times and I rinse it a few times, and then maybe I'll put some water in the sink with a plug in and put it in and make sure there's no color coming out.
I put a little bit of Murphy's soap in water, and if they're really bad,
Yeah, that can help a lot.
yeah, and then I can do a good wash afterwards. I have one I've got now. Did some watercolor. This should be white. This should be white like like this white. So both of these need better cleaning.
Yeah.
And that's just watercolor. That's not acrylic paint. But they are due for a good cleaning.
Right, I don't have a colour I want on this here in this set, so I'm getting another one out. Or do I? What's that? That might, well, maybe that one, but I think it might be that one. Let me try this one first, then we can stick to the one. Not convinced. That's better. Definitely a lot better than the other one. But I think I might even add a bit of Prussian blue. Ooh, there's a lot there. That needs a definite... I think it needs a bit of a heat, actually. Definite clean. I like that, bringing up that texture quite nicely. Well, there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't use paint out of a different set when you're painting. In fact, some people make their own sets with a couple from Hordam, a couple from Kuretake, a few from Daniel Smith, not that I can afford them, and a few from, various other paint sets, Paul Rubens, Rosa Gallery, Roman Schmalz, whatever paints you like. You don't have to have a whole set of one sort, but collect one or two here and there. And that's really what I've done with the Roman Schmalz. I didn't ever buy a complete set. I just bought bits and pans and put them together. So... oh, That was a bad idea. I didn't rinse it properly. Always doing that with the yellow. Why is it always the yellow I do that with?
I've done that, and I notice it when I do yellow or orange. I'm like, why you didn't rinse it well?
Yeah. It's like yellow. What's rinsing? I'm at the end of this one. I'm going to have to replace that one soon. I thought it was only going to be the indigo and the darker colours, but now I seem to be using the yellow. Lots and lots.
Yellow is one I've learned to use lightly and then in layers. Because otherwise I'm too heavy-handed with it, and I'm like you. I finish it off. If my yellow looks like yours, I've hit the bottom.
Yep, there's the bottom.
Yep. So either they don't put as much yellow in, or I'm quite heavy-handed trying to get that yellow.
Well, I seem to be quite heavy-handed with all of them because they're all sort of fading away. That water is really dirty now. Might be. Cleany properly. Just want a little bit more over this area here because I want to go over the top with another colour. I think I should leave this until it's dry and come back and do this. I think it's a little bit too wet. Yeah, I think I should leave that and come back when it's dry. Same with this side, really. Yeah, I don't know why I'm keeping on doing it. Stop it.
There you go.
Hmm.
Put yourself in
There
time.
we go. Trouble is, I wanted to put some of the colour I wanted to go in there, and it is horizon blue.
But you may lose it if it's too close to stuff that's already wet.
I know.
There you go. So just put a light coat in so you can come back to it.
But I know what I'm doing. Yes, exactly. That's what I wanted to do. Horizon blue. Never seen such a mucky colour in a pot. Ooh. You know, sometimes it settles out in different layers.
The water jar, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water jar.
Yeah, I've seen that. Another thing I'm learning is not to dip my brush all the way to the bottom and scrape it, because sometimes I'm not cleaning it. I'm just picking up the sediment from below.
Exactly.
So it's a little trick I'm teaching myself, is don't put the water brush in so deeply. Which means I get a fuller jar of water rather than a shallow jar, which is what I usually do, is just bring a little bit over here. That's not working.
What's not working?
Well, if I have a jar of water and it's just like an inch deep of water.
Yes, it gets too dirty too quick.
Yeah, it's not, it doesn't work. And then I want to push the brush in farther and stir it, and then all I do is stir the sediment from the other colors. If I fill the jar more, then I only have to swish around on the top layer of water. There you go.
That's viridian. Was it olive green I used? No, it wasn't. What was it?
Pay attention.
Greenish yellow. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, too late. Just want that to mix a bit. That's better. That's the colour. Right, I'm definitely going to leave it now, I think. The last poppy. Ta-da. Yeah, I might cover up that blue. I'm not sure about it. I'll probably just cover it up with yellow and green. Okay, we'll say bye-bye for now then on this one.
So I will come back.
Say bye-bye.
I will come back and we will, this is the end of part 2.
Yep. So we've got no more tissue to do at the moment, so that's the end of the two-parter.
We will say bye-bye.
We will say bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.